So, there's this in the chapter one of Think and Grow Rich. Okay, sorry guys. I want to share with you an excerpt from Think and Grow Rich that strikes me, and as I integrate my spiritual journey and my financial prosperity journey. And another thing, I have been visualizing a lot more. Like visions have been coming a lot more. Like life metaphors have been coming in. Like for example, like when I was chanting this past Friday, like three days ago, I was visualizing myself as though I didn't have an arm, and then like there's this phrase that says God is my supply. So just allowing my prayer to feel like to create the arm that I don't have. So like if you are experiencing any form of lack, whether it's like lack of money or lack of resources or lack of insight, to like understand that, while we might see in the physical our limitations, to the potential is still there. It's just invisible. So like I was just kind of imagining myself growing an arm, and then a spiritual arm, or becoming stronger, really. So in Think and Grow Rich, towards the end of chapter 1, where he's talking about desire, he says that he's talking about his son who was born with no ears. And he says, many years previously I had written, our only limitations are those we set up in our own minds. For the first time, I wondered if that statement were true. Lying on the bed in front of me was a newborn child without the natural equipment of hearing. Even though he might eventually hear and speak, he was obviously disfigured for life. Surely this was a limitation which that child had not set up in his own mind. And so, he goes on to say, what could I do about it? Somehow I would find a way to transplant into that child's mind my own burning desire for ways and means of conveying sound to his brain without the aid of ears. So eventually he does get to that point where he is able to have that for his son. But I don't know, it just made me think about, and again, I think this is to do with the ascend, helping you to ascend quickly, like what the Moldavite does, right? Is me not just reading this book and then like believing like that a manifestation will happen, but like really experimenting scientifically, like really thinking about how it applies to my life, like with my limitations, and how the burning desire comes from this belief that, okay, this is in my way and I really want to get to past it. So what must I do to get past it? So my son he doesn't have ears. What can I do to help him win? There are people that are suffering in this world with mental health. There's people who are suffering in this world with fundamental disbelief in themselves. And how can I overcome my own stuff in order to convey that I'm an overcomer, you can overcome too. So I guess like how that awakening is happening as well, and I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys too.